This is the DogeCoin or DogeCoin. I finally getting around to doing a video on this one. This is a weird and interesting chart. All right, so I mean the first kind of bubble takeoff here was January, and it got super boring for a long time. Then we had the crazy explosion. All right, and now this is happening. So let's take a look at this chart. This is an interesting one. It's kind of short. They're really short bubble lines. So you get the takeoff, and then we get this. Let me get down to, I think 1 hour candles are probably good. Yeah, we get this super wobbly, whatever pattern flag, I guess. It's kind of a topping flag. Down here, we pick up support. We get a few bounces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounces down here on this lower support line, and then take off on a higher angled support line. So this higher angle support line is what has been getting all the hype in Dogecoin for the this month or this last couple of weeks. I guess it's gotten like insane. I just want to take a look at where we are here. Twice, 2, 3 times down to support. And so, yeah, right here's a big deal because we're flagging into the support line and it's looking like it's starting to break down. And I drew a down channel just in case here because we're getting lower high, lower high. Let me zoom in a little closer. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps downhill on this trend line. So I wanted to draw this crucial zone here where we're on an uphill support line and we're starting to tap downhill underneath this line, and it's squeezing. It's squeezing into this spot. So I would say, I mean, generally the thing to look for on an uptrend is a flag into support is generally a good thing, but this flag doesn't look as good. The downhill line on this one looks more mean than like a normal flag. I mean, this one, this one kind of flagged down too, but it's just, consolidating back and forth. It wasn't just like smashing its head all on the underside of one. So generally, once you pick up a higher angle trend line, and this one here is the first kind of pin it into support, into a higher level support. So that one's harder to spot because you don't have the trend line yet. This is the second one into support. And so I would say on average with just like a trend line support, you'll usually get 3 or 4 taps before it'll break down off of the support. So I don't know if this is, I mean, we're already in bubble territory because this is a second level kind of bubble support line we're on here. Oh, it's already popping up. Okay. Yeah, so in general, buying at support is the plan, or for charts where you can do options or something, like a call option at support is usually good because once it starts breaking and taking off on support, it'll usually kind of bubble up again, and then it'll consolidate across. So as far as like call options or something, this is not financial advice, all that. And I don't have any supporters. I'm not a supporter of the doggy thing. Just looking at the chart. But yeah, when you pick up a support line, you usually don't just like go straight up the support line. You usually bounce up the support line. You'll kind of do a parabolic takeoff. Like that's the idea with a call option. If you're going up the bubble, is to to pick up that parabolic takeoff and then exit the trade, and then consolidate back to support, and then call option up to the move here. And so yeah, this one was looking precarious. It broke down under support. It broke down under support again. I was looking sketch, and now it just popped. It already popped since I started since I've drawn the lines. But yeah, so this one I will imagine is going to go bullish. Look, that's a huge green candle. So usually when you pop out of support, you'll pull back to the support line here, and this is a good like confirmation spot. You kind of squeeze to support, you get a bullish breakout, then you come back to support, and that's kind of a confirmation area. You've already known you've broken out positive. So this is a perfect example of that. Since this is a bullish breakout right here. And then what you'd be looking for on this one is probably, let's see where we are. I would be looking for probably like a quick tap on top of this zone and then picking up support over here. So probably tomorrow. Today probably comes back down in this area and should pick up support from this breakout, most likely. That's like an 80-20 kind of looking thing. And then you get like a little wobble, and then you can take off again at some point. It should go up above the support line after it picks it up. Anyway, that's kind of a look at the Doge. It's been so hypey. And then what? I guess look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's in an interesting spot, and it's pretty similar. I don't think 15-minute chart's going to be too helpful on Bitcoin. Let's do like an hour. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. So on Bitcoin, we have our running trend from several months ago. It was just kind of slowly going off, and it did this big parabolic kind of takeoff into this big consolidation zone. And this is similar to what I was just looking at on the DogeCoin, is we didn't have a higher level trend line yet, but this is a big consolidation zone that's probably going to go bullish. And so I did a video on Bitcoin when it did this pop out of the zone here. It wasn't really a false breakdown here because we didn't have a trend line yet, but it popped and it caught support. And so I was doing a video when it was popped up here, and I was saying the same kind of thing. Like we want to see it come down and catch support here, and then there's a long trade. And so this trade here, I got in 34, I think, somewhere in here, and then once it popped parabolic here, everyone's saying that has to do with a tweet or something like that, and it doesn't. It just does that. Like you pick up support and then you just go up away from support. But once you've done this curving, parabolic move up, like that's just a dangerous spot to hold, because most of the time you're just going to kind of consolidate sideways, but usually a little bit down. Like a bullish consolidation is going to be a pullback. So that's what I'm looking at here. Yeah, and I have the markers for what I think this pullback probably is going to look like here. And so, yeah, it just looks like we bumped our head enough to draw a trend line, like a downtrend line here, which probably should stretch out to support. Like that's kind of the downtrend line I'm looking at. And then I just tried to find a spot with enough hits to kind of get a bottom edge that I think could happen here. So there's not really much of a zone. You just know the back of the zone is probably this move right here, because that's where it just took, it did like a back test and went parabolic. So It looks like Bitcoin's already pulling down, and I already exited this trade. It was like here to, and then 47 on this second tap. And so it looks like we tapped 3 times, and it's pretty common to cross completely back across the zone, or almost all the way across, and then just can kind of figure out the zone. And so this could be a super boring like month for Bitcoin, because like until the end of February, maybe we're in this consolidation zone, looking for support, as like what I think is most likely here is to pull back and bounce back and forth across this area until we get another bullish breakout, and then it's another trade setup like this. You want to see a bullish breakout, and then here. So that's one trade setup. That's like the safest, highest probability kind of trade setup, is once you catch support on top of the consolidation zone after the breakout, then you usually will get a run. Just from like technical analysis kind of trade setups. But then of course, like when you get a big pullback across like that, depending on how you want to trade it, like you can trade the kind of consolidation zones, like, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, back and forth. But it's a little bit harder because you don't know. I mean, you can tap a couple of times on the top, you can tap a couple of times on the bottom. It just kind of bounces wildly all in here while it's consolidating. So it's not like an obvious trade where it just goes like down, up, or something like that. It just kind of wobbles like crazy in here. And then, yeah, this zone is not tightened up yet because we haven't gotten taps on either side enough to sort of tighten the zone. I just have kind of a wide zone with a general idea of what I think it's going to do now. And it is getting a little bit more of a pullback. So, I mean, from here, you can go up and hit it again right now. You can cross the whole zone right now. But it does look to me like we're inside of another kind of consolidation zone, just because we've gotten so far off of the support line. So it's hard to keep going parabolic away from the support line unless you've actually picked up a higher support line, which is possible. I could draw one in here. I doubt it because we just picked up this support line. But I mean, I could draw an idea in here because it does look like we have a few taps like on this angle. So now it's a mess, but it is possible that a higher level support gets picked up, at least short term. And there's 3 taps here, enough to establish a line. So there's some ideas. There could be this kind of zone in here to look out for a higher takeoff, or this kind of zone to look for a breakout. Like a breakout here, would go that way and could go parabolic up here, and it could stay kind of away from the trend line that we're on now. Or you could kind of go blah, 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 but then you get the breakout and then settle down, and then you go take off here. So I think the same trend line that we're on down here is more likely. This is definitely possible. And that's a kind of a look at Bitcoin and Doggy, like flagging sort of up. It's like up the front of a bubble, and it's hard to see. Well, how many times are you going to bounce uphill before you don't? Like 2, 3, 4 times. Like after 4 bounces, things get kind of sketchy. Like it's every consolidation doesn't go bullish, so that's why it's good to, like, more consolidations go bullish than not. So buying like down at support down here, if you can do it, is okay. But this also can just break down really hard and fall like to the next trend line, like straight down. Like if the consolidation actually breaks down, it just falls, boom, like to the next trend line and possibly breaks that one too. So down here is a more dangerous spot to go bullish. Just for a short-term trading spot, that's much better to go bullish after a bull breakout and catching support. That's a much higher percentage trade setup. And then, Bitcoin and Tesla. We do Tesla because Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, and Tesla did fall. Oh, check this. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is gonna be. I should probably do another video on Tesla. Okay. Oh man, wait, where? Okay, where is Tesla? Yeah, this breakdown was not a fake one. Okay, let me get out to wait, let me just do the hourly first. Yeah, I saw this precarious. I mean, we have a really good Tesla support line for like a whole year. That's this one down here, around 500 or so. And that's the support line that I think makes sense. And we kind of, well, we did it a couple of times here. I mean, we did the little parabolic run up here and kind of came back to support. And then this one was just super weird. It's like parabolic up this double bubble support line.